Hello, our Sydney Thunder fans, and welcome back to the Sydney Thunder Fan Club channel. I have got a WA cricket legend joining me on the show tonight. I'd like to welcome a Scorchers player as well, and that is Will Bosisto. How have you been, mate?
Thanks for having me, Luke. Yeah, no, I've been going really well. Yeah, that's a healthy introduction, calling me a WA legend. Appreciate it, mate. It's always nice to have your tyres pumped up.
All good. Yeah, uh, bit of this podcast is about just learning about people's cricketing stories about what it was like being a professional cricketer. So, where did it all start, Will? What got you into the game of cricket?
Yeah, I probably started like a lot of young Australian kids playing sort of down the local park or in the backyard, I suppose. My dad was a big one for me growing up, sort of just constantly begging for him to come and throw me balls down the local park. We lived nearby an oval that had a tennis hit up wall that we frequented a fair bit in the morning before school. And then I suppose playing at my local junior club, then on to playing cricket at school, and then through a few representative teams and club level, and yeah, I guess on to Western Australia and the Scorchers and plenty of other cricket sides since. So it's been a really long and enjoyable journey to date, and hopefully plenty more to come.
Yeah, that's amazing because we were speaking to Shane Bond, our old Thunder coach, a few weeks ago, and he's just said he really enjoyed being a part of a professional cricket team, getting around all the players, and yeah, he was really interested in that part of the game. But yeah, who was your favourite teammate in the WA setup? There's been a few good players around WA cricket and the Scorchers.
Yeah, lots. It's hard to single out any individual because the West Australian side's a very tight knit group of guys, and not just a very good cricket team, but I think a big part of the reason for WA being so successful over the last decade across a number of different formats has been how close the guys are, and yeah, there's lots of good characters and lots of guys who I'd call close friends in that group. Yeah, Mitch Marsh is a guy who springs to mind. He's just a very, very funny bloke. He's a wonderful teammate. I think you see it in a lot of the stuff that he does. Whether it be media wise or just the way he plays the game, or when he gets interviewed and things like that. He's what you see is what you get. He's a happy-go-lucky guy, obviously extremely talented cricketer, but fantastic teammate. But there'd be a number of other guys that I'd put in that similar category. He probably just sprung to mind because of his humour and it makes you walk a bit taller when you play alongside Mitch, I reckon.
Yeah, he's an absolute gun. Us Thunder supporters, we hate coming up against him, but he's a legend of the game. I feel he's one of my favourite players by far. I just love the way he goes out with his business. I really think he's a gun player, and yeah, he's a really, really gun player. And I just think he's an immortal in my words.
No, he's a special player, and he's got the ability to take the game on from ball one. You've seen it in a number of tournaments over the last few years. He often sort of dispatches the first ball for six, which gives the dressing room a big sigh of relief, I reckon, when you've got someone who can play with that sort of fearless courage, I guess.
What do you think of the Scorchers winning the comp this season?
Yeah, it's incredible to watch. So they're such a successful franchise. And it's lovely seeing. I've got a lot of mates in that side, and it's lovely seeing them play so well, not only as individuals but as a collective. So yeah, really, really pleased for them to keep doing so well, and I think that puts them a fair way ahead in the sort of title, most number of titles since the Big Bash has begun. So yeah, there's certainly some good things happening over West.
With a team like the Perth Scorchers, they've been so good probably since the start of the Big Bash when it first began. What makes the Scorchers so good?
Great question. I think leadership is a big one. I think when they first came into the competition, I know Simon Kadich was one of the earlier captains of the team. They had really, really good experienced players. led by Justin Langer at the time, who was a fantastic head coach, and I think he's got a really good way of molding younger players and sort of teaching them the habits of professionalism and just what it takes to be a world class cricketer. So I think a lot of the younger group who've grown up together, who are now some sort of more experienced players, had a wealth of experience around them and some really good players and coaches to learn off. So I think that's a big part of why that group's been so successful. And then now led by Ashton Turner, who's a wonderful captain. Adam Voges has done a fantastic job with WA and the Scorchers. So I think sort of good leadership, and not just from players and coaches, but in the administration as well. I think it all leads to a pretty successful organisation.
Yeah, Ashton Turner, another guy that always seems to get runs against us. But yeah, he got 99 not out, I think it was, against us this season. I know we don't like seeing players get 100 put on us, but he did deserve 100 on that night.
Yeah, I did watch that knock. He played exceptionally. So I think he hit his first 2 balls for 4 from memory. Just beautiful time cricket shots, and carried on for the rest of the innings. But he had another good season, another successful, like consistently successful player for the Scorchers.
Yes, yeah. He's just like the way he goes about his business, like his leadership, as you said before, but also his experience. He's played for a number amount of clubs around the world. He's played for Australia. Yeah, I still think he's got it in him. I feel like we should sign him at the back end of his career, but that would be nice. But no, he's a fantastic player and very likable guy around WA cricket.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. I think he's a very valuable player for any franchise. I think he's, as I said, I think he's a big part of the reason. He's a big part of the glue that holds that Scorchers side together.
Yeah, so talking to your cricket at the moment, how's your professional career going? Do you still think you've got Big Bash in you?
I'd love to. Perhaps I need to have a word with the Sydney Thunder. What do you reckon?
Yes, please. Yes, we need someone to lift the trophy with us again.
Mike Hussey was always my childhood hero growing up. He was obviously part of the successful Thunder side. I think it was 2015, 16 off the top of my head.
2015, 16. First trophy, let's go.
As a younger guy at that stage, I was disappointed to see Mike Hussey leave Western Australia or the Scorchers, but still sort of followed his journey closely, just because I think he's such a quality player. He, a guy who, as a younger guy, from all reports, people said was relatively dour and sort of technically correct, but not a sort of a fast scorer necessarily, and just obviously just worked so hard at his game to get to a point where he was able to, probably towards the back end of his career, was just about the number one T20 player in the world. I'd nearly say, just with his ability to play all types of bowlers, all conditions, and and bat anywhere throughout the order. Saw him play a lot of sort of limited overs stuff for Australia through the middle order, and he opened the batting in the IPL quite a bit. So high quality player, someone who I've sort of tried to model my own game off. So I guess in regards to your sort of first question about, do I think I've still got Big Bash cricket in me? Yeah, absolutely. I believe that I could be a really valuable asset to any of the franchises, but that decision's not solely in my hands. I've just got to sort of keep improving as a player and keep trying to dominate the leagues around the world that I'm getting opportunities to play in, and most importantly, just keep enjoying my cricket, because I think that will help produce my best performances.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. I'd love to see you in lime green. It'd be awesome for our franchise. I think in 2017 I went to a game where we beat the Scorchers. I think it was just by 3 runs or something like that. I remember it went down to the wire. I think Cameron Bancroft got a few runs for you guys. He seemed to get a lot of runs against us, but I feel a bit bad for him now. He's not getting as much runs for us, but we've got him for another 2 more seasons, so I'm hoping he can get a few more runs and hopefully lift the trophy with us. But what do you feel like playing against us at NG Stadium?
Sorry, how did I feel playing against the Thunder at NG Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's my first memories of the stadium were I've got a mate who plays footy for GWS, so I'd been to watch him play a few times at that same ground. So I remember thinking, oh, it's cool to actually be out on the ground playing when I'd experienced the ground from the stands previously. Um, so yeah, it was a cool ground. It's obviously a bit of an odd shape. There's some deep pockets in points, and the wicket traditionally takes a fair bit of spin, which I love. I love playing in spin-friendly conditions. This year um, it was quite a high-scoring ground actually, which surprised me in some senses because I think the way the Thunder had drafted their list, I thought there was going to be some bunts and burners at NG Stadium, but with Shadab Khan and Greeny and Tanvir Sanger and even Tom Andrews in the squad. So, yeah, that surprised me a little bit. But, yeah, I've got really good memories. I think I've played 2 games there previously with the Scorchers against the Thunder. Yeah, one came down to the wire. So, yeah, it's really good memories from the ground. And, yeah, certainly something I'd jump at if I ever got the opportunity.
Yeah, that's good deal. Would love to have you, mate. Who was your best, like your favourite team you've ever played for out of any team you've represented? Who was the number one you would choose?
Geez, great question. Geez, lots of fond memories of so many different teams that I've played for. Probably gonna have to name a few. To be honest, I can't narrow it down to one. I absolutely loved playing Shield cricket for Western Australia. Some of my closest mates. Um, I established some really close bonds when I played Shield cricket for South Australia. Uh, I had a brilliant time in Adelaide. Played for Adelaide University Cricket Club, which, yeah, some of my closest mates to this day still speak to them regularly. Uh, in my current club side in Perth is at University of Western Australia. We've just qualified top of the ladder and heading into a finals campaign starting shortly. So very fond memories playing at uni, and yeah, I've got really great memories playing with the Australian under-19s, lots of the franchise sides I've represented. So I've been really fortunate to play with lots of good people, and I think that's the beauty of cricket really is, it's a chance to play competitively and test yourself in a game that sort of, it rewards you for enjoying other people's successes. I think because there's just so many ups and downs personally, but if you can really learn to enjoy other people's successes, that's when the real joy of the game comes out. I think so. Yeah, probably a long-winded way of saying lots of different teams that I've really loved playing for.
Yeah, that's really inspirational. Really, that's amazing. Um, when you're playing in front of a big crowd, do you ever just think to yourself, this is amazing that you've got this far, and it just do you get goosebumps when you're out in front of a big crowd?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that because I played a game in Nepal a few months ago in the Nepal Premier League, and I just took a
Oh yeah,
moment to sort of soak it all in and look around at the crowd. I think there was about 15,000 that night, and just the passion for cricket in that part of the world is extraordinary. And yeah, it was a nice opportunity for me to just see, I guess, the joy that the game can bring to so many people. So yeah, we call it goosebumps or just an opportunity to see the joy and be grateful for the position that us as professionals get to be in to provide that entertainment to people. Yeah, it is. It's a really really cool feeling, and certainly the more cricket I play and the more experience I have, the more I've enjoyed playing in front of big crowds and sort of, yeah, that feeling that lots of people are interested in what you're doing is really exciting and certainly gets you out of bed in the morning, even on the tough days when when the training can be cold and wet or whatever it may be. It certainly makes it all worthwhile when you know that those big crowds are waiting at the end of the tunnel.
out of any stadium around the whole cricketing world, what would be your favourite one that you've ever walked out on and played a game of cricket in?
I can't go past the MCG. I have played at Lords. I've played
Oh
3 or 4
wow,
times at Lords, which was incredible. Lucky enough to represent the MCC in a few games at
Nice.
Lords. But I think the MCG, I made my first class debut for Western Australia out there, and yeah, that was cool. Being an Aussie rules footy fan, growing up watching a fair bit of football at the G, and then getting a chance to play on the hallowed turf, that was really special. But yeah, I think the Adelaide Oval was another incredible stadium. There's been some beautiful grounds in Bangladesh that I've been lucky enough to play at as well. But yeah, I can't go past the MCG.
Yeah, a lot of cricketer players just think it's the pinnacle of cricket. Playing at the MCG Boxing Day Test is everyone's dream at that time of the season. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's amazing that you've played at Lords, one of my favourite all time grounds. Just how does it feel to play at an environment like Lords, like hostile fans from England? How does it feel?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily get to play in front of a hostile crowd because I wasn't. There wasn't a massive crowd when I was playing for the MCC in a couple of the games there. But incredible, even just the walk from the change rooms down the steps through the long room out onto the ground, and just sort of seeing, as any cricket fan knows, that the commentators are always quick to point out the big slope on the ground at Lords, but yeah, just batting out there, it is bigger than you might anticipate watching on telly. It's sort of certainly not flat. So that was sort of quite cool to experience that, and then get some idea of what the test players and international players are going through when you're watching cricket on telly and other series and things like that follow. So, and just the history behind it, all the artwork on the walls, the amazing teas and lunches that they provide. It was a really, really cool experience, which I've been lucky enough to do multiple times. So yeah, that was a dream come true for sure. To play cricket at Lords as an Australian was quite incredible.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Like Lords, what a ground! Like just the pinnacle of every format of the game to be played at. It's just unbelievable that ground. Like as you said, the history, the artworks, just it brings the stadium to life in a way. But yeah, Lords, what a ground that is. Hopefully, I get to step foot on that ground one day. But it's great to hear that you enjoyed yourself at Lords, and it would be an unbelievable feeling, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I hope you get that opportunity too. I hope every passionate cricket fan gets the opportunity to play at grounds of their dream. Actually, speaking of on the topic of grounds, I was lucky enough to have a holiday in South Africa a couple of years ago, and I was driving around, and we stopped. At my sort of direction, I suppose, I asked if we could go to Newlands Cricket Ground that
Ooh,
overlooks Table Mountain, and
yep.
so we sort of got to the front gate and asked if we could sort of, being a cricket tragic that I am, I asked if I could go and have a look on the ground, and the security guard was lucky enough to give me a look out on the ground as well. So, haven't played cricket there. That's certainly on the bucket list, but that was another incredible venue. Would even love to watch a test match there, or play any form of cricket at Newlands. I think would be incredible as well.
Yeah, Newlands, what a ground that is. Beautiful stadium. CPL's played there all the time. It's just a beautiful ground, and it's got a lot of history behind it as well, in a way. So yeah, bloody awesome ground.
No, for sure.
I've asked a few of our guests on this show, have you ever met Virat Kohli or played with him?
I have actually. Yeah, I
Wow.
played It would have been around about 10 years ago now. I think India were touring Australia for a test series, and India played a game against a West Australian 11, of which I was lucky enough to be a part of. It was at the Wacker ground, and so I played against Virat Kohli. I think actually there's a bit of a story. I think Liam O'Connor might have nicked him off, and it was dropped by the wicket keeper or
Oh,
something. I sort of remember something a bit funny, a bit
dang.
crazy, happening in that game. Played against MS Dhoni, who was captain of that side at the time. Jadeja.
Jeez.
There's a number of modern day greats playing in that 11 against us. So yeah, that was a pretty special experience at the Wacker ground. Yeah, so that was my only interaction playing against Virat Kohli. I've net bowled against him a few times as well. Well, net bowled to him, I suppose, not against him. I was competing, but I'm not sure how hard he was competing against me. He was probably just getting his practice in. But yeah, wonderful guy. Yeah, really down to earth for a guy with billions of followers around the world. He seemed to take a bit of time to have a chat to a few of our younger players at the time, and yeah, I may have asked him if he had a spare bat or two that he could leave behind, which I wasn't successful with. But yeah, if you don't ask, you don't know. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah, that's true.
Kohli.
Yeah, modern day great, unbelievable player. He's a very likable guy as well for a few reasons. I know he hit one of our Thunder players in the shoulder, barged into him semi-conscious. But other than that, he's a really likable guy. I love the way he goes around his business. He's just a stylish player. He's still got it to this day. And yeah, really, really good player.
No, he's a competitor, isn't he? Yeah, he's probably a big part of the reason why Indian cricket has continued to go from strength to strength. He's had amazing longevity across all three formats, and yeah, he's done some really special things, particularly in the white ball arena over the last 5 or so years. And yeah, it's funny you bring up that incident with Sam Constas, because yeah, that was what an incredible game that was, or even just session or day's play watching
Yeah,
Constas take down Bumrah and yeah, really take it to the Indian players that day, and yeah, certainly ruffled maybe Kohli's feathers, and yeah, probably not Virat's proudest moment of his career, but yeah, I think if you play for that long, you're bound to get into little scuffles and things that you might
yeah,
later regret at some point in time. So yeah, hard to blame him.
yeah. Like ramping the greatest bowler in like the modern era at the moment, Jasprit Bumrah. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah, no, he's not played against Sam, and I've not met him personally, but yeah, I think he's a incredible talent, and I look forward to sort of seeing if he can fulfil his potential, because I think he's clearly a very talented player and plenty of confidence and swagger, and yeah, not deterred by the big moments. So yeah, really wish him well on his journey, and be keen to sort of see how he progresses in the coming years.
Yeah, he had a bit of an off season last year. Just well, I suppose like he had to really like can't always get 50 plus runs every game, I guess. But yeah, the highs and lows of cricket. He said about the West Indies tour when he got dropped. But yeah, I feel like if he gets 50 plus runs every game for us, I reckon we'll win the trophy this year. But no, I think you got to have an off season every now and then, and I think he's an unbelievable talent and I reckon we should sign him for a very long time.
Yeah, like you say, ups and downs with cricket is inevitable, particularly as a top order batsman. And he's only a young player. In my experiences, at that age, you're only just sort of scratching the surface. I don't think you necessarily realise it at the time. You think you know your game and you think you know what it takes, but probably, well, certainly in my experiences anyway, it's taken me longer to to work out the specifics of my game and work out what helps me to score in different areas and play in different conditions and things like that. And I think, yeah, he would be no different, even though, he's obviously incredibly talented. I think it is going to take some time for him to, really establish himself as a consistent run scorer at that level.
Yeah, I hope he scores hundreds for Australia one day, but I think if we do keep him for a very long time, we'll win, hopefully, a lot of trophies. But yeah, Sam Constas, what a talent he is, not only just for our funder, but he should be the future for Australian cricket down the track, but hopefully he can get selected for Australia again. I'm sure he will. But do you think it's time for Sam Constas to come back to Australian Test cricket?
Good question. I think, having been a younger player and, um, and a top order batter as a younger player, I'm aware of just how difficult it is to be consistently successful. I do think, as I said earlier, I do think it takes time for players to learn their game and develop their craft. And, I think in cricket, you generally see, particularly batters and spin bowlers in particular, they get the best out of themselves probably in their 30s, from sort of late 20s right the way through their 30s, and we're seeing guys play into their 40s now, as long as you look after your body and can keep yourself on the park and your eyes stay sharp, and the passion and the hunger for runs stays there. So Sam, as a young guy, I think he's just gone 20. I don't know that for sure, but 20, 21-year-old guy, it is difficult, right? You're going to be inconsistent, and he's shown sort of glimpses of his talent, which is incredible, but I don't know, to come back, I'll probably sit on the fence a little bit in terms of should he come back into the test side. I think absolutely, if he can put consistent performances on the board at Shield level, then absolutely he should. But, there's probably some other guys with a bit more experience and a bit better understandings of their game right at this moment who I think, equally or perhaps more so deserve those opportunities. But luckily I'm not a selector, and that's not my job to make that decision at this moment. So I genuinely wish him all the best, and I hope he has an incredible career, because he made my Boxing Day morning that morning, watching him take on Boomer and co. So I hope he has a fantastic career, and no doubt I hope he has great longevity for Australia, and when that time comes, that's up to him really, if he keeps putting runs on the board, or keeps getting better as a player and working out exactly what his formula is to become more consistent.
Yeah, like talking about players getting better as they get older. David Warner, 200s for us this season against the Hurricanes and the Sixers. Like, he's playing like he's just started again. Like, he signed on for another year as well. He was supposed to retire at the end of last year, and he's come back for another season for us, hoping to lift that trophy for us. That's what he wants to do. But like David Warner, he's still got it. The bull, he's still fighting. He's just unbelievable. You can call him a talent, really. Like, he's still got it. Like, it's unbelievable to see.
He's another great example of a guy who's he's been world class for over a decade now. He's dominated 3 formats of the game. I think he would be pretty close to Australia's most successful 3 format player of all time. Amazing player. Had a fantastic Big Bash season at the top of the order for the Thunder. Still a gun in the field, moves as quick between the wickets as just about anyone in the game. Guy who's probably late 30s now, still virtually at the peak of his powers, I think. And showing that if you keep yourself fit and you stay hungry and motivated to do well, there's no reason why you can't keep being a seriously valuable commodity to cricket sides all around the world. And I think he's playing in the PSL again starting shortly. So look forward to watching his progress. But as you say, incredible player and gun fielder, and he's obviously captaining the Thunder as well. So big responsibility in his shoes come BBL, the next BBL.
If you came back to the Big Bash and there was 8 teams looking for you to select you, who would you choose and why?
Oh, great question. I've always grown up a proud West Australian, grown up in Perth all my life, so it'd be hard to go past the Scorchers. But I suppose, whoever felt that my skill set was going to be most valuable to them. I think, as a player, it's always nice knowing that your skill set's valued and that, you've got an important role to play. So the way that franchise cricket is these days, I don't think you can be too sort of loyal is not the right word, but I don't think you can have your heart set too much on, playing for just your home team or just your sort of local side. You really have just got to go wherever the opportunity presents itself. So I'm certainly not sitting here saying that I wouldn't jump at an opportunity with any of the 8 Big Bash franchises, and who knows, there might be expansion into be it the Gold Coast or I think I've heard talk of New Zealand getting a team into the Big Bash. So who knows if the sides get expanded further, then that might present further opportunities for players on the cusp as well. So something I'm very, very passionate about doing is getting back into the Big Bash, and certainly feel like as if I've done a mountain of work on my game to get to a point where I could be successful and provide real value for a franchise in that tournament.
Yeah, we'll be happy to have you, mate. We need an extra batsman. You open or bat free around there?
Yeah. I've always sort of batted at the top of the order, but yeah, with franchise cricket the way it is now, I think you need to be adaptable. So I've really tried to work hard on my game against spin, and be a valuable option in the middle order as well. And always pride myself on being a gun fielder. So I think and bowling some offies as well. So I think having sort of multiple strings to your bow means that you're more likely to impact the game, and you just give your team more avenues to try and win the game. So that's probably something I've tried to really put my focus on in the last since being in the Big Bash first time round. So desperate for an opportunity, and hopefully I can prove my worth.
Well, you could if you come back to play for us, you could play with Cam Bancroft, one of your good mates from WA.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'd love to play with Bangers again. He's got a great record actually in limited overs cricket. I think just because he gets so many hundreds in Shield cricket, he sort of gets not pigeonholed, but I think he gets I think if his career was to stop right now, for example, I reckon people would remember him for his red ball play. But statistically, he's had some amazing performances. Particularly for the Scorchers in his years at the Scorchers, he did really, really well at the top of the order. And whether it be batting with Constas or Warner at the top there, or in the top three, I think he's got a big role to play for the Thunder in the coming years as well. So no, I'd love to be to play alongside him again. He's a great teammate, and he's a really, really good guy to have in the dressing room.
Yeah, I've met him a few times at a few Thunder games. He's a really good bloke. A man that wants to score a lot of runs for us. He hates getting out early. I feel like if he gets a lot of runs for us this season, I think we'll go a long way in BBL 16.
Oh, for sure. No, the top order batters are so valuable. You see it across tournaments all around the world, particularly in the shorter forms of the game. Those are the guys most likely to face the highest number of balls and do the most damage on the scoreboard. So guys like him are really valuable.
Speaking of Cam Bancroft, we've been trying to get him on our Thunder podcast. Hopefully one day that happens. It'll be a dream for all of us Thunder fans on this channel. But can't wait to hopefully that can happen on this channel. I'm sure hopefully it will. But thank you for coming on, Will Bosisto. Greatly appreciated as always. It's unbelievable to get a professional cricketer like yourself on, and we're very grateful to get you on. Thanks, mate.
No, absolute pleasure, Luke. I'll have a word with Bangers and see if we can get him on the show for you, mate. But thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'll be very grateful.
Cheers.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Likewise. Thanks, Luke. See you later.